Winter is here. Did we get snow yet? No, not yet. But our friends in Missouri, Doug and Stacy with Off Grid Doug and Stacy, they got snow already in Missouri, but no snow yet here where we live in North Carolina. Some other parts of North Carolina have gotten snow, but not us here yet. And speaking of Doug and Stacy, the Homesteading Life Conference 2020 tickets are for sale now until the end of the month, and they're already halfway sold out. So make sure you get your ticket so you can join us as well as Doug and Stacy, a number of other great speakers, as well as Curtis Stone, the urban farmer. So you can check out the show notes below for information on how you can get tickets to come to the Homesteading Life Conference. Well, speaking of winter, it's not necessarily my favorite season for homesteading, but it is a season that we have to deal with because we have to deal with the cold and just doing some things outside, and when your body doesn't necessarily want to go outside and deal with the cold, it is what it is. And for us here, it doesn't get extremely cold and we don't get a lot of snow, but usually in January, February, it's not my favorite time to be out homesteading. But you know what? July and August, on the other extreme, are not my favorite times to homestead either. But it is what it is, just part of the experience with homesteading. And one of the challenges of dealing with the colder temperatures is staying warm. Here in our yurt, we heat it with a wood stove, so that means we're having to deal with a lot of firewood. And sometimes in the morning, after you get up, it's a little bit cooler in the morning just because some of the wood that you had in the wood stove is kind of mostly burned up, so it takes a little bit of extra energy to get going. So that's one of the challenges of dealing with colder temperatures. Also splitting firewood and logging it and bringing it inside the house to make sure that we have enough wood for the night to stay warm. That's a challenge, so we're doing a lot of splitting wood. And right now, since we have some new chicks and ducklings outside in chicken tractors, or duck tractors as I call the one for the ducklings, I have to go outside and make sure I check on them to make sure that their waters haven't frozen, and if they have, try to get them some new fresh water. And at this time of year, with getting extra rain and sometimes snow when it actually does come, moving the chicken tractors or duck tractors along can make it a little more challenging. So I still move them, but sometimes if it's just so wet, I don't move them. I just add new bedding, new mulch or straw or leaves just to keep their area dry, so that especially chickens, it's very important that they stay dry during the colder temperatures, because chickens can be more susceptible to getting sicknesses and diseases from just being exposed to the cold. So once again, just extra work of things that we're doing around here. So definitely a little bit of extra work during this time of year of just little tedious things like that. But despite the cold, we still have a number of projects that we are continuing to do at this time of year, like our underpinning our yurt. We recently did that, and that has helped keep the yurt extra warm. And we're actually going to be replacing the external walls around the yurt here pretty soon too, just to continue to renovate our yurt, and that will help to seal in the heat even more. Our yurt's a little bit older, and there are some places where airflow does come in, so adding permanent exterior walls will help seal everything up and just make it more energy efficient, and heat more efficiently. So that's that. And speaking of projects around the homestead, I've been clearing out a new area, just culling out a number of trees so we can expand our areas where we can run our chickens and ducks and our new ducklings and chicks here in the future. So I've been taking out a lot of trees, and this morning we're going to be using the excavator just to pull out some of the roots as well as move some of the brush, just get it out of the way so we can continue to clear that up. So we've got to get that done because we're a little bit having a rush today, because we're going to be going to the Rhodes house to be doing a live stream with the members in his do-it-yourself abundance. So I need to get outside and get that done so we can get back for that live stream, because super excited about it, because we're going to be talking about farm fitness and how you can get fit without the gym. But first, outside. Climb on there. All right, Micah, you ready?
Ready and ready.
We move like a turtle in this thing, don't we? All right, so as we're coming up on our area that we've been working on here, we're just gonna start by just moving some of the brush. I'm gonna push it aside, and we're gonna rent a chipper or something and just grind it up later on. So I'm just gonna push this over to the side so that way we can work with it later, and then slowly start pulling out some of these roots here. All right, so I made a lot of progress. Not as much as I would like to have, but you can see here the area is a lot clearer than it was. I've taken up a lot of stumps, and I even moved the big, huge tree that we had cut down and pushed it over there. It's just amazing the strength of some of these machines, and I thought it was going to be a little bit harder to move it than it was, but man, the excavator moved it so easily. I did want to get the stump dug out and the roots, but wasn't able to get to it today, so we're gonna have to come back to it next time. But we're making a lot of progress here in this section, and this is just above our market garden, which is down there, but we're looking to clear out the rest of these trees so that way we can actually put more productive things in here, like some fruit trees, as well as run the chickens and ducks through here more easily and systematically. But we gotta go now. It's time to go. So that's it for now. So make sure you stay tuned for the progress that we make here and see all the things that we plan and will actually start growing here. It's exciting. Spring is not too far away. Even though winter has begun, spring is not that far away.